Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got this second book of the Infernal Devices. This is the Clockwork Prince. Here's what the front cover does look like, and we have the back. It says on the back, in the magical underworld of Victorian London, Tessa Gray finds her heart drawn more and more to Jem, while her longing for Will continues to unsettle her. Could find the Magistrate free Will from his secrets and give Tessa the answer who she is and what she was born to be. So obviously it starts out that obviously we've just gone through where they thought Tessa was dead when she's not. She changed herself into someone who looked like she was dead and not be able to breathe and all that. And we go through more series of how we find out more about everyone else. They get trained by two Lightwoods people, and where the Lightwoods actually fall for a maid, a mundane. I just kicked the camera, oops. And then, from that as well, we also find out that one, in the first book, they said something about the chickenpox, not chickenpox, demon pox. And we find out that Mr. Lightwood, Benedict Lightwood himself, has that, and he's been idling with the enemy to make sure he can stay safe, because that's what Mortimer, I believe that's correct, don't quote me on that. We also find out that Jasmina has been seeing Nate, and what Nate's been doing is they're married, but she's been giving him every information about the institute, what's going on, what happened, so it makes the Magistrate stay one step more and one step before them. And Nate has told her nothing. She thought he loved her. He even gave her a fake ring, but she finds out in the end. We find out that Jem, there's a scene in here that Jem and Tessa got very frisky in one of the little things, but not too frisky, don't worry. We also find out that obviously there's this Yenfrin or something like that, is a demon drug that can kill if you take in too much of it slowly, but surely you can die. So Mortimer has been using these werewolves to they gave them Ian free so they can create build the clockwork creatures and to have them thing, but once they take too much they will slowly die because it's like a weakness of the werewolves. Magnus Bane doesn't really tell me exactly why Magnus had a relationship or some kind of something with Will, so I guess we might have to find that in the Clockwork Princess, because there is that. Magnus has tried to help. We find out that the demon who supposedly supposed to have put curse on Will is not actually a curse, it was just something he believed when he was a 12-year-old kid. So he didn't actually kill his own sister, the demon actually did with his stinger. So he actually believes in it for this so many years, just thinking about that he's the one who killed his sister and moved away from his family, not thinking about it. But then he realises that he can love again and actually love. He goes to Tessa and tell her that he's in love with her, that he'll do anything for her, anything like simply, and he can't live without her. And she was like, it's too late. He was like, it's not too late, I know you hate me, kind of situation. But she was like, no, I mean it, it's too late. This morning Jem proposed. So Jem and Tess are proposing, which is amazing. These two are together, and obviously it's not common, well, it's not really allowed for a downworlder and a shadow hunter to marry. But the Jem is obviously slowly dying anyway, but Tessa has a feeling that they soon will find a cure for this thing. We find, obviously, like I said, with Benedict Lightwood, actually his two sons, well, one of his sons goes against him and then the other son comes kind of along after they find out what actually happened to their mother, which their father actually lied about. Their mother actually died of knowing that she had demon pox because what Benedict actually gave it to her. So there's that as well. And then we go to the end. Obviously they pretty much threaten Benedict to bring down what was coming to it, and we find out that Benedict actually does go oh my god, I've got a name. Oh my god, why did I just forget her name? Oh my god. what's her name? Charlotte. Charlotte wins back the institute. She's now still the head of the institute, which is very nice. Her husband is weird but quirky at the same time, so you kind of get the situation on that. And it gets to the end of the book. I got to the end of the book and I was like, I want to continue reading. What's going on? What's going on? We find out that obviously Jem and Tess are married. Will is very upset, but he's trying not to show it. We find out that Charlotte and her husband are having a baby boy, which is surprising. Like, oh my god, what's going on here? And then out of nowhere, we find out that right at the end, that Will's sister Celie has come into the picture and asked them to. She wants to train as a shadow hunter. I don't know why she has come there. Okay, we'll find out in the book of the Clockwork Princess, but it was very different to find out a lot of that's going on. So there's that. Obviously, guys, if you've not known by now, these book reviews or DVD reviews, what I do, they are going to have spoilers. If you don't want to watch these reviews, don't worry about them. There's other videos you can watch that I have a lot of. So obviously I didn't tag as much in this as well because I was too busy trying to read it and totally forgot that I needed to tag stuff that I liked. But hey ho. So the page of 32, it said, Charlotte, Henry catching up to her, sounded worried, darling. Without warning, Charlotte drew her foot back and kicked the wall as hard as she could. As well, the wall was stone. This did little damage, though Charlotte let out a low shriek. Oh my, said Jasmina. Jasmina is the one who betrayed the institute. She goes twirling her parasol. If you might have suggested, Will, about 20 paces behind us, in the council room, is Benedict. If you like, go back in there and try kicking him. And she was like, I recommend aiming upwards and a bit to the left. So if you don't know where that is, it's in the private area, which I find hilarious. When I read that, I thought that was hilarious. So that bit is the bit of where they decided to find out if Charlotte is actually worthy and go against Benedict to run the Institute of London. And then we get to the next part, which is page 198. Oh god, where did I put it? I don't know what it's mean. Jem looked back at him. God damn you, he said, and hit Will across the face, sending him spinning. Will didn't lose his footing, but fetched against the side of the carriage. His hand to his cheek, his mouth was bleeding, and he looked at Jem with total astonishment. Get him into the carriage, Jem said to Celie, and Tam went back through the red door to pay whatever Will had taken. So this was where Jem, Will thought he couldn't live without anyone, anything like that. So this is the bit where Will went down to where he normally go and get the drugs for Jem. He actually was taking drugs himself, and he got too hyper, and Jem was very annoyed by what he had done. And then on this one was quite interesting. Page 225. It says on here. So it was like, well, what, Sophie? I hit her on the head with the mirror, Sophie said hopelessly. One of those silverback lines. It was quite heavy. She went down like a stone, miss. So I tied her to the bed and came looking for you. Let me see if I have this quite correct, said Tess after a pause. Jasmine found you with the invitation in your hand. Jasmine was going out at night dressed as a boy to meet Nate and turn her secrets and everything like that. I found you, struck her over the head with the mirror and tied her to the bed. Sophie nodded. Good Lord, said Tessie. Sophia. Sophie, we're going to need to fetch someone. This ball cannot remain a secret. And just no, Mrs. Bramwell, Sophie moaned. She'll sack me. She will have to. And obviously they tell Will, and then because it's a masquerade ball, she transformed herself into Tesselina. Will become thing, and obviously one of the Lightlook brothers actually knew that he was there. But the story was, at the beginning of it was not like, okay, I'm not really intrigued by it, but as soon as I got close to the end, I was really intrigued of what's going to happen. So a lot has turned out to be what happened in the end, so I cannot wait to watch the Clockwork Princess to find out what the hell she is and what the hell is going to happen to Will. Is something going to go on with Magnus? Because I'm not too sure, because in the Mortal Instrument books, it sounds like them two had kind of a relationship going on. I guess we find out soon enough. Thank you guys for reading. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for when I do the next book. Thank you guys, bye.